Hey everybody, I'm Cosmic and welcome to the Cloud, and oh my god, Final Fest is here, our grand festival for Splatoon 3. They just dropped this at midnight. I did not think I was going to be uploading a video like the day after that big memcake video I just made, but I mean, we kind of need to talk about this now because it's happening in like 2 months, but you know, it's going to be, all the hype's going to happen, they're going to be like posting stuff probably, and it's coming, it's here, it's actually it. So I'm sure you all know by now, because probably all the other Splatoon YouTubers uploaded this video yesterday, but the probably final Splatfest, or at least, you know, the final big important one for Splatoon 3 is called Grand Festival, and the theme is past versus present versus future. It's a big collaboration between all of the idol groups, with Squid Sisters on past, Off the Hook on present, and Deep Cut on future. And I mean, it looks amazing. They look amazing. Like, I mean, look at them. Like, yeah. Splatoon is one of those series where, like, I'll just watch the videos, like, over and over again. Like, the Splatoon 2 Final Fest video, I still love that reveal. Like, the big orchestral remix. That was so cool. And, like, they actually just made, like, a sequel to that. I literally have the Splatoon 2 Final Fest poster, like, above my monitor in my room. Like, I literally have that on my wall. If you want to know how much I like that trailer, literally is physically on the walls of my room. So the fact that we got this now, which is like, you know, maybe gonna be even bigger and better. I don't know. It looks so cool. I mean, first of all, right, there's this like area, there's this like explorable area. There's like these huge concert stages. Like, I don't know how much we're gonna be able to like actually explore. Like the first shot we see, like it looks like a hub. Like, you know, there's like inklings and jellies walking around. There's this shot here where it's like, you know, it's like the train station from the start of the game, which is really cool. But there's like all these like market stalls and stuff going around, like it is a festival. And I'm just wondering how much of this is like background decoration and how much of it is actually going to be like an explorable area. Obviously, Splatoon exploration is not like that in depth. It's not like Breath of the Wild. We're not climbing walls and stuff, but you know, even just walking around, zooming in on all the tiny details will probably be super fun. Also, this is cool. It's all of the deities from the different Splatoon hubs, which, like, you know, there's never been a ton of like lore for these. I don't think it, you know, it's just obviously a collaboration between all the idols, but it's cool. You know, you got the chicken, the tanuki, the turtle, the crane, the snake. I think that's all I can't see the pig. Is the pig here? The pig's probably here. But yeah, that's pretty cool, in case you didn't notice that. You'll notice here, I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed this, but we see them in their, we see the idols in their normal outfits, and then we see them in these Grand Festival outfits. So this will almost definitely be like a, you know, it's a 3-day event, like, Splatoon 2 Final Fest was 3 days, but obviously in Splatoon 3, the Splatfest, there's like, you know, day 1 concert for the Splatfest, and then all the idols transition into their day 2. So I'm sure it will be a similar kind of thing, where it's like, you know, the idols will perform in their normal outfits, probably do their normal songs, and then they will do the big collab song where they're all together on the same stage, which again, like, are we going to be able to walk around? Like, I'm confused what the actual, because this is very clearly in-game, so I'm just wondering what the actual in-game experience will be, if it's just standing in a crowd of jellyfish and zooming in on them dancing and singing. I mean, that honestly, yeah, I'm down. That sounds pretty cool. You know, gameplay-wise, I assume it's still just gonna be Turf War. I assume, you know, I don't know how they'll do tricolor. Like, I assume there's definitely going to be a tricolor map. I hope it's like a fully original map. You would think if they make this whole hub in the crater, like, I imagine we're getting like a, you know, MC Princess Diaries type Shifty Station, like, unique map for this Splatfest. Because obviously we would. For anyone who doesn't know, in Splatoon 2, they actually integrated Pearl and Marina, like, into the gameplay. Like, the hyper bombs from Octo Expansion and Pearl's killer whale were like usable weapons that appeared on the map. So if they somehow figure out a way to incorporate like all of the idols into a stage, that would be really cool. I don't know how they would necessarily go about that. I mean, you could, you know, deep cut, I don't know, you could use Fry's eels, or, you know, Shiver's shark, Master Mega. Like, I don't know exactly how that would play out, but that could be a thing, possibly. I don't know if I'm getting my hopes up for that. But yeah, I mean, it's all just guesses as far as the gameplay for now. But the thing that we got to talk about is the theme. Because the theme is past versus present versus future, which a lot of people actually guessed. I feel like there were like a few main guesses. Like, some people thought it would be like a pick your poison fest, the bad things. I forget what it's called, the Buddhism thing that Deep Cut is based off of, or whatever. I didn't really ever think it was going to be that, because that just felt weird to me as like a choosing your team and defending. Why would you defend your poison? I don't know. That always seemed weird to me. But yeah, past versus present versus future. It's definitely a little bit more of like an obvious one than I like chaos versus order. I feel like blindsided everyone. That was just like totally like out there. But still, it's cool. I'm more into it now. Like when people predicted that before, I wasn't super into it, but I'm into it now. And I'm thinking that I'm going to be team present. Between present and future. The thing is, like, so everyone's talking about it in the context of like, you know, this will affect Splatoon 4, which is probably true, because obviously Callie versus Marie affected Splatoon 2, Chaos versus Order affected Splatoon 3, but I feel like it's harder to say exactly how this will affect the next game because, you know, there's a few ways they can take it. In Splatoon 2, it specifically said, what world would you choose for the Inklings and Octolings? A world of chaos or a world of order? And obviously, it's debatable how much that actually affected the game. Like, the general aesthetic of the Splatlands and being in the desert and the chaotic blend of cultures in this dense urban area, like, there's lots of chaotic things. Return of the Mammalians wasn't necessarily, like, a chaotic story. It starts in the crater, but Alterna really doesn't necessarily have anything to do with chaos and almost feels more like order in some ways. So, like, I don't think it's going to necessarily affect the game as much as some people say. Like, some people were even saying that, like, chaos affected, like, the special design, and I really don't think that is the case. Like, I think they just saw, like, oh, everyone said the specials were more fun in Splatoon 1, so we'll make them like that again. Like, I don't think that was, like, chaos thing. Like, I don't really feel like it influenced the gameplay direction, like, at all. You know, I think some people are taking it to the extreme of, like, oh, past is gonna make it be like Splatoon 1 or a Splatoon 1 remake, and future is gonna be like a new genre. Like, I just don't think it's that extreme. But I also think from a lore perspective, you know, in my opinion at least, right, like, one of my favorite things about the world of Splatoon is that it's this space that moves in real time. Splatoon time moves forward at the same rate as real time, right? Like, there were actually 2 years between Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 canonically. There were 5 years between Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, and the developers kind of sell this effect of the passage of time by having, like, oh, the trends change in fashion and music, and, like, you know, that's the justification for the changing elements in the gameplay and the aesthetic of the games is like, oh, it's the passage of time and the shifting of trends. And I think that is, like, super cool. Like, I think that is integral to the Splatoon identity. And I really don't think they're going to stop doing that. I think some people see past, present, and future. Like, I've seen some people say they think that if they vote past, that we're getting a Great Turf War from 100 years ago video game or story mode. And, like, I just don't think that's happening. I really don't want that to happen, personally, because, like I said, I really like this idea of Splatoon being a living game that lives in real time and progresses in real time throughout its story. I also think that just sort of gives it its unique flavor. Like, I think Splatoon having its major world conflict just be this thing that happened 100 years ago, and now it's only, you know, it's clouded by propaganda and differing viewpoints, and, like, you know, we're just a kid, we're just a teenager in this world, you know, being shown this information. I think that's so cool. Like, I don't want them to explicitly depict the events of the Great Turf War. I really don't want that personally. And with Future, it's like, I like the aesthetic of Splatoon. I like it to change over time. Like, I think the way it's developed from Splatoon 1 to 2 to 3 is really cool, but it still retained this kind of, like, you know, punk kid, like skate culture, like, kind of 90s. The Splatoon 1 is really the only one that had, like, the 90s vibe. I feel like we kind of moved past that, but, like, you know, I don't want it to get too futuristic. And that's a little ironic because I chose Team Order back in Splatoon 2 because of that aesthetic. But I was thinking in terms of story mode, you know, because Callie and Marie only affected the story. Like, Marie did not really have any influence on the rest of Splatoon 2. So I think back then I was just thinking of it in the context of story mode. When Chaos really for Splatoon 3 affected, like, you know, the aesthetic of the maps and the hub more than anything else. It really didn't have much to do with Alterna at all. So with that in mind now, you know, I think some stuff is cool. Like, I was talking about this on, like, a Discord server, but, you know, the fact that the Octarians have integrated into Inkling society and, like, this technology that was foreign to the Inklings is now used by them, like the spawn drones. The Octarians invented hover technology, and now everyone uses hover technology because the Octarians are on the surface. I think that's really cool. Or maybe, I don't even know if that was the implication or if it's just the Splatlandian Octarians. I don't know exactly, but, you know, the point is, you know, having technology develop over time is cool, but if it gets to the point that we're pushing like so far into sci-fi, like the story modes have always been sci-fi, but the multiplayer has that kind of grounded elements, like the locations feel just like kind of real lived in places that look like, you know, around real life human timeline. I don't want to move too far away from that. So the question is, how much will it actually affect, right? And the thing is, it asks, which is most important to you? So I don't think we are literally traveling through time when we answer this question. I don't think we're going to the past or going to the future. It's just what will be emphasized. And if you ask me, I kind of want the present to be emphasized. Like, I just don't want... It's not even that I'm just scared of, you know, it diverging too far away, because obviously something new would be very cool to see, but if it is affecting story mode, right, I just feel like we've already done past and future like a lot. Like we had, you know, we had Commander Tartar, who was basically like corrupted by nostalgia, right? I mean, he was so obsessed with the past and the humans, and like there's all of the, you know, nostalgic imagery and like 80s theming and everything. And Tartar is a villain because it can't accept that there is this new life on the planet that is not humanity. And then Grizz was a pretty similar situation, right? I mean, he was like so obsessed with the world of the past, and he's like, okay, well, you know, the final kind of line he says is like, moving forward is the future. So I just kind of feel like we've done past and future stuff a lot, and I don't know. I mean, Side Order, I guess, is kind of focusing on the present, but there's not like much of a story there. I don't know. Like, it is hard to say what a story about the present necessarily means. But to me, Splatoon is a game that does live in the present. I mean, it's all about trends. I mean, even like the dialogue and like, you know, the emotes referencing real life like memes and stuff. Like, I just feel like Splatoon has always been this game that's trying to be, you know, not even like real life trendy, but it's just trying to make its own trends. It's always trying to be about, you know, the Inklings are trying to, you know, they're trying to stay fresh. Like that's literally the thing, right? They're staying fresh. You don't stay futuristic, you don't stay traditional, you stay fresh. You stay in the now. So to me, that is like the present, embracing the present, living in the moment is just kind of a part of the Splatoon identity. And to me, that's why I'm thinking Team Present. Also, I don't want to make it about the idols, and I you know, beg you guys to not just vote based off the idols, because this is so much more interesting than just an idol fest. But you know, they did associate Squid Sisters with past, Off the Hook with present, and Deep Cut with future. And at the current moment, I would probably say Off the Hook is my favorite idol group, so you know, it's just kind of the cherry on top of picking presents. Like, it's definitely not my main reason, but it's like, you know, if I can also be on Off the Hook's team, I'm not complaining. So yeah, this was just a big ramble, but you know, I'm very excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Feel free to let me know what team you're choosing, or you know, any thoughts you have about like the gameplay, or just I don't know. It's just, I really just can't believe they dropped this. I was just like chilling with my friends in a Discord call at midnight last night, and they're just like, boom, Final Fest. Literally like 2 days after they announced a different fest, and like 5 days after a fest ended. I don't know why they're cramming all this stuff together. They did announce it exactly 5 years after Splatoon 2's Final Fest, so I assume that was the idea behind it. But yeah, oh yeah, the Amiibos are a thing too. I mean, not much to say about them. I'm probably buying them. We don't know what gear they give you yet, but that exists. Excited for those too. Don't really have anything else to say, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in Team Present. But you know, my mind could be swayed to future. I'm probably not ever picking past. I'm present or future. So feel free to leave your own, to defend your own team in the comments below, and maybe, just maybe, you'll change my mind. We'll see. But yeah, until next time, that's really it for now. I mean, obviously it's just reacting to this trailer. Can't say too much about it until it happens, but I'm excited. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Cosmic. Farewell.